Disclaimer: I am just a humble Genshin Impact fan. I do not own any of the rights to Genshin Impact, or any of the content within it, such as the lore books. Those specifically belong to Hoyoverse. What I do have, however, are friends with things like learning disabilities, such as dyslexia and ADHD, or very little free time, making reading the lore books either in-game or on wiki pages hard for them. Our solution to these problems has been for me to make these recordings so that they can listen to them and still get to enjoy Genshin lore like the rest of us. I have chosen to upload these recordings to YouTube as a way of sharing them with other fans within the community who might be in similar situations. I am admittedly no voice actress, trained narrator, or video editor, but I have tried my best, so please be gentle with me. Therefore, without further ado, let's get into today's story. The Serpent and Drakes of Tokoyokoku. A novel based on Watatsumi Island's folk tales. The original edition of this text was transcribed on Watatsumi Island by a merchant while the former serpent god yet lived. Sold by Kuroda at the Yai Publishing House in Inazuma City. No one reads this ancient tome nowadays, its role supplanted by all the light novels on the market. This book describes the unique cosmological outlook of the Watatsumi people before they came to adopt aspects of Narukami culture, and a recent resurgence in traditional novel publishing has allowed it to see the light of day once more. Mysteries creation conceals, the sun and moon omens reveal. Three corners in darkness shrouded, the void by five saints clouded. The universe has no beginning and no end, and so it was with the land that once was. But this matters not to us, for the land that bears us no longer has anything to do with that eternity, without start or ceasing. So said the lone sage Abaraku to the first Sunchild. The Sunchild had long intended to punish Abaraku. Summoning the sage before the throne in this manner was but an additional way of making things difficult for him before detaining him. Legend has it that Abaraku was opened up to wisdom by the Tokyo Okami and was thus able to bring light to Inkanemiya, which had till then never seen the sun. But the Sunchild grew jealous of his talents, thus imprisoning him for life. Yet these children of the sun never considered that had Abaraku not created that underground star, they never would have existed in the first place. The origin of heaven and earth is like the chicken and egg, and are not dragons and snakes kin? No sooner had the sage Abaraku uttered these words than he was overthrown by troops lying in ambush. At that time, Inkanemiya had only just been brought some room to breathe by the appearance of the sun. The dragon heirs loved the dark and shunned the light, and thus could no longer act with impunity. The days when the dragon heirs would rampage and graze upon humanity like so much grass had, at last, come to an end, for the people of Inkanemiya finally had the means to resist. Yet it came to pass that the flaws in human nature would rear their ugly heads even before such outside threats could be quelled. The people chose a Sunchild, crowned him king, and worshipped him, and yet he ruled with a brutal hand, framing the righteous. Unnumbered years would pass before a young child of Inkanemiya would make a wager with his peers. Alone he would dive beyond the three corners, evading the trail of the dragon heirs in search of a dragon bone flower. But what he found instead within a great cavern was a mighty serpent, one he had never seen before. Somehow, as he gazed upon the serpent's titanic form, the child felt no fear, but instead a kind of kinship.
I am the profane serpent. Though my servants are numberless, not one mortal now dwells in my shadow. That I have fallen into this realm, and that we should meet. Perhaps this is fate. You are not one of my people, but you are human nonetheless. Speak your desire, and I shall hear it.
Could you then, perchance, become our god? Thus did they, human and serpent, go forth to face the royal authority of the Sunchild and the incursions of the dragon heirs beyond. Thus was the curtain raised on the turning of the tide. Other information. The book's cover features Orobashi and a dragon-like creature. This book's description and text are replicated in Volume 1 of the Tokoyokoku collection. Part of the collection of Dragons and Snakes quest involves retrieving this book for a librarian shade in Inkanamiya. This book has gone through some changes. When it was released in version 2.3, it was originally named The Serpent Drake of Tokoyokoku. In version 2.4, it was renamed to The Serpent and Drakes of Tokoyokoku, and there were some amendments to the language used. Instances of Abe Yoshihisa and Yoshihisa became Abaraku. Instances of Tokoyonokuni became Tokoyokoku, and instances of Dragon Heir became Dragon Heirs. Other names. Sources. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Ad Astra Abasosk.